we doing this? You going? All right, everyone. So today, and whatever day this is, I don't know. We're doing another commentary. This time it's over Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones. Yeah, we had fun with Phantom Menace.
It was interesting, yeah. I always say interesting. I don't know why.
That's okay. I mean, it was interesting. I had fun. Okay, Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones.
No,
Maybe the worst one.
I mean, we'll also say
We've hit play and
Star Wars.
It's starting now.
Pops up.
Like we're hearing the 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
I miss this at the beginning of Star Wars.
Yeah, I almost kind of forgot about it, but with it being Disney now, not
Lucasfilm dissolved its black screen now. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars. It says Star Wars. You have subtitles on?
Do you remember when you first saw this? Did you see it in theaters?
No, I did not see this one in theaters.
It's kind of a weird thing with this movie where I don't have like a weird relationship with it. Where when I was a kid, for some reason, every time I got sick with a fever,
Attack of the Clones.
yeah, I'd watch it. I don't know why. It's kind of a weird thing.
I'm actually glad I'm watching this again because it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while for me.
Like, I think I'd seen Phantom Menace more recently from the time of watching that than this one.
Yeah, I think this is when it started to feel.
See,
little. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't have much.
Well, I was saying like this episode was like, oh, there's a new villain, every single thing, and
it's the Sith of the week.
Yeah, it almost very episodic.
Yeah.
Hence,
Well, I mean, Sidious is always there in the background.
I think it was just trying to illustrate the
rule of
puppeteer work of Palpatine. Yeah, and the rule of two. But so about 3 years in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones.
Of release
wise, yeah.
It was about 3 years. Yeah, it was May of '99 to we had to wait till May of 2002.
Coruscant looks nice.
It's like
Starfighters.
We know these ships. Well, not that silver one.
You think this episode will be a little less funny? Because the Phantom Menace one, I think we had a lot of fun like joking on it, and this one Jar Jar's less.
This one
of
will
a
be
character,
and also we don't have little Anakin, but we have worse Anakin maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say
I don't know. They're both
worse.
They're both bad. Hayden Christensen really picks up his game in episode 3.
I think this is the only part you get to see Coruscant that high up.
Yeah.
So one time it's cloudy.
So I guess they get fog in Coruscant.
You get bright blue sky, and then you get like a orange sunset. That's about it. I think when I was a kid, this one was one of my favorite ones, but that was definitely prior to having seen episode 3. When I was actually allowed to watch it.
There's our good friend R2-D2.
Typho. What happened to Panaka?
Yeah, who knows? Now, is Typho...
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Diplomatic assassination.
You think that they actually blew something up, or is that just all effects?
There's probably a little bit of practical in there. That smoke back there is not real. None of that smoke is real. That's literally just debris. And then, like you said, the actual platform, that's real. Like up to those lights, everything behind it is fake.
What happened to Keira Knightley?
Maybe they have
multiple ones.
Multiple ones?
Yeah.
Like those ships back there aren't real.
So what is Padme's role right now? Like she's not queen anymore, right? No?
Yeah.
He said my lady. Typho did to Padme.
Well,
but I don't know.
he said to her, Senator, I failed you. So maybe she's not a senator, but she's still the queen.
No, they said Senator Amidala.
Well, maybe she's senator now. They're just going to leave her there? Just going to leave her?
I think Coruscant's one of the best things about these movies.
It's definitely unique.
Yeah.
We got
Always like the part coming up where
we got Barasafi there in the back, Luminara Unduli sitting next to Kit Fisto. We got Ki-Adi-Mundi sitting down, Plo Koon over there. Can you name a lot of the Jedi?
yeah, a good portion. I like when Ki-Adi-Mundi or whatever, he goes
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
yeah, he's like, he's an idealist, not a murderer, or whatever he said. I always thought that was like cool when I was a kid. I mean, not cool, but it stuck out.
Do you ever feel like Ian McDiarmid has more wrinkles in this one than he does at the start of 3?
Yeah, kind
Like,
of.
take a look at him next time they show him. There's Greedo. No.
He might have been made up in 3, but
Like, think of Chancellor Palpatine at the beginning of 3, like when he's on General Grievous's ship.
yeah.
Compare it now. He looks more wrinkled here.
I feel like the Yoda in episode 1 looked better than this one.
Oh,
almost.
yeah. No, this is the worst Yoda is in this whole series.
I mean, it doesn't look awful, but you can definitely tell it's a
all CG.
2002.
Because the Yoda in Phantom Menace that we watched.
Not a murderer.
Oh, there he is. Count Dooku was watching. Oh, yeah. Count Dooku, taught by Yoda.
I remember reading a book as a kid that said that. There's something I was going to say and I forgot what I was going to say.
Boy, that's only.
It doesn't look that bad. I mean, from a
It's
distance,
right there that
yeah.
looks bad. Look at the lighting. The lighting on him is wrong. And
I think I know what I was
Ki-Adi-Mundi looks weird too. What is going on with?
I think I know what I was going to say.
Okay.
We didn't really talk about the marketing for episode 1 and how cool that was.
Oh, all the toys. How
Yeah.
also
well,
it was
we were talking
everywhere.
about some of the toys, but just like the lunch boxes, the commercials,
Taco Bell,
the Pepsi stuff.
Oh yeah, Pepsi was a big.
There was a like, you know how like bags of chips will come in like boxes. Like it could be like a variety pack.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like a 24 variety pack of like mini bags of chips. There was a Attack of the Clones one, and it came with these little like puzzle pieces.
No, that was Revenge of the Sith.
No, there was Attack of the Clones one.
Was it?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, we used it for like a storage of like light bulbs and like little rinky-dink things for a long time.
I remember there being
at
one
my
for
house.
Revenge of the Sith because I only ever had one piece. It was a purple piece that had R2-D2 and C-3PO on it. But I know what you're talking about.
All right, the first introduction to Anakin. It's weird how 3 years have gone by in real time, and Obi-Wan, I know he's made up, but very much looks like some time has passed.
Look at that lighting.
Oh, look, they're trying to establish the relationship, bringing up past things. Remember?
This is not very good looking green screen. Look at the light reflecting on them. Look how you see that greenish yellow hue.
Yeah, I never really noticed it too much.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's rough.
I know they ran into that problem in the next movie with C-3PO and green screen. It was like the reflection. One of the few moments Jar Jar is in here. Again, that lazy language.
Misa Laika to see you. Looky. Man, how does anyone take him seriously? Like in politics.
Yeah, because he's not well spoken. I don't know. In his species, that might be a well spoken Gungan.
Yeah. Well, in this one. Oh. No, in this one, when he's like delivering the speech to the Senate, he's okay there. Maybe this is like his casual, relaxed, like, oh, Misa is so glad to see you. But he's like, oh,
Some slang, I guess.
yeah, it's. Look at the green reflection on his back, on Typho's back, because that window back there is nothing but green screen. It's a set, and that's green screen back there.
I thought they used blue right here, and yeah, you can see it. That is weird. I never really noticed it. I don't know if it's the color on this TV or what, but I never noticed it that bad.
What is that rock back there on the wall?
I didn't notice.
There's like some decorative rock behind Anakin. Right there.
Oh, Anakin, he's so rebellious.
Now, is Typho the only character in Star Wars that we see with an eye patch?
You know, I never really asked myself that question.
Well,
probably not.
I know there's Prune Face in Jabba's palace. He has one. There's got to be some people in Jabba's palace who have eye patches.
No way that he's the only one. You ever think of the plot of this movie? It's like, wait a second. They know Anakin's rebellious. He's not quite with some of the codes with the Jedi. He seems to be going against them. But let's send him with a possible love interest on this mission. It's very important. Just the two of them. It's like,
Yeah. He's young.
Yeah.
It's like...
It almost seems like a mistake.
Yeah. So why they choose him?
What do you mean, Anakin?
Yeah, why they choose him? Because he knows her?
Maybe it was because they would feel the most comfortable. I've heard some people say they don't really like that Jango Fett is in this movie. I think he's one of the best parts of the movie, really.
I'm not a fan of Jango Fett because it gave Boba Fett a backstory.
Yeah.
And this is like, it's like, oh, you guys like Boba Fett? Well, here's his dad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we have to explain every single character from the original trilogy.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I kind of like what has come of it, you know. Everything about the clones. I mean, they changed his entire origins. Not really just his origins, but like who he is.
Whose?
Boba's.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's not just a person. He's a clone.
Who sleeps like that? See how she's sort of sitting like
a... should have like a paperback opened up with their left hand. Just reading it casually.
You see how she was sort of sitting like...
Don't worry. No harm will come to her.
You see how she was sitting like Leia sits when she's captured in the Death Star?
That was probably purposeful. If I had to guess. It's poetry. It rhymes. I like how in the next part, like Obi-Wan, he's like, besides, your Syntezon is attuned to mine or whatever. And it's like they're both wrong.
I had a toy of that thing.
I didn't have many toys from this as a kid.
I remember my biggest regret in life was I didn't know about this until years later, but apparently me and my dad were somewhere. And we're like Walmart or something. And this had already come out, so it was probably like late May or June or whatever of 2002. And remember the Geonosis Arena, those three monsters?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had the three figures there. My dad's like, "Do you want one? I'll buy you one." And I was like, "No,
I'll never use it."
I was like, "No, I don't want one," and I didn't get it. So,
dude, I'm starting to like. It's taking me out of this movie with the whole that I don't know if it's just our TV, but
the lighting on all of them,
the reflection of the green screen.
Yeah, we're watching the Disney Plus version of this.
Yeah, which I don't think there's a difference between the two. I doubt there is though, but I'm sure maybe something.
Wouldn't put it past George. Okay,
well, I mean, he would have no reason to change it. He would have no like jurisdiction of like, well, this is the Disney Plus edition. He's done, you know. I wonder how much of this movie was changed because of the criticisms of episode 1.
Oh, I'm sure a decent amount.
I'm sure he had like a decent outline for like where he wanted it to go. Like obviously the end was Darth Vader, you know, for Anakin.
Okay, I got a question. Now that droid obviously opened up that window, like he had to break that glass. Being that high up, wouldn't it just be like...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it would. I mean, maybe. I'll have to give that a Google. So what are these things supposed to do? Like sting her, bite her?
I think they're supposed to kill her.
Well, yeah, but like what
Yeah,
means?
but like, you know, sort of like the way any bug would kill. Uh-oh. Oh,
a little delay in our screen, so we're going to be off by like less than a second.
I think it's a good man by. I sent it too. And these bugs know. Anakin.
Oh my gosh. I love how his first reaction is just jump out
the window.
Like what did you think was gonna
I'm gonna just dive headfirst out this window. Now,
Like, what was the plan in the end?
I guess just see where this is going.
Yeah.
You know, just know who's behind this.
Like, what if it was going to self-destruct?
Yeah.
Like in the sky somewhere. How did he know that?
Oh, that's not great looking either. It's cool design though. I like the idea of air speeders. You know, like not everyone, like if you live on a planet, you know, especially like this, you're gonna have to get around. But like you're not necessarily gonna buy, you know, like a full on starship, a star cruiser.
I kind of like this this scene.
So is that another Sebulba?
A Doug? Was that the species?
Something like that.
Yeah, I kind of like how this is.
It's essentially a car chase in Star Wars.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I had a toy of her air speeder.
Oh, I don't think I ever had anything to do with her.
Well, it really wasn't mine. Someone got it from my dad. And of course, my dad just gave me all his stuff.
It also introduced a shape shifter.
Yes, it did.
So So is that actually a girl, or is it just a whatever species that is?
Oh, I know there's one in the Clone Wars. There's another one that says the exact same species, and it's a female.
I thought maybe it was like non-binary or something. Like it was not either one, but it could just shapeshift to look that way. But
I'm sure they could shapeshift into a man, but
it's the best line right here.
they're still going on about it.
My thing with the like he jumps out of the freaking speeder in the next couple minutes, and it's like, I mean, you're telling me that with his Jedi senses I guess with his Jedi senses he could do that, where he planned out and he knows exactly where he's going to land.
That's always what I thought was just Jedi senses. I want to know more about this underworld of Coruscant. I want to know more about that.
There was a canceled video game called 1313.
Yeah, I know about 1313.
Talk about it and give us some information about it, which I would like. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but we probably never will.
So suicide exists in Star Wars universe. You just said it. Look at that. It looks like Blade Runner.
Yeah, it does.
I want to know more. I want to know more about like all this.
But yeah, I'm kind of glad they show us this underworld part.
I remember this level in Lego Star Wars. You have to get through those.
That wasn't in the original though. Did you know that? Like in the original game, that level is not in it.
No.
Yeah, it was a later on edition. I don't know if it wasn't even for the complete saga. I think it was like later. But as a kid, this level was not part of it. I think the first one, like the original edition, you just start on Camino. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Deep fried. So I guess they fry food in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, and they got Wizard and that good stuff.
What?
Like sayings.
Oh.
Well, I guess deep fried. I guess what you're trying to say is they have fried food.
Like in the Star Wars universe, they have a concept of dipping stuff in batter, then putting it into very very hot oil.
Well, they also brought in like diners in this movie. Yeah, I feel like that
we'll get to that in a second. That's
a little later, yeah.
So I guess like the 1950s existed in Star Wars also.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Just the idea of like restaurant going and bar going and well, I mean, we saw that in 4.
Yeah,
the first one.
Yeah, there's a bar. Yeah, I gotta just think that's
Wouldn't that shatter his
Jedi.
bones?
Falling hundreds of feet, chest first, into a moving ship.
Yeah.
I remember this one though because this was cool because the front, those like little front fin parts of it were like soft rubber.
Talking about the toy thing that you had?
Yeah, and so like what you would do is you would slam it into something, like it would crash and it would compress it, and like these plastic panels would pop off, and so it would look like it does when it crashes.
Yeah.
Oh, see that little change right there?
Yeah, I'm curious to know like what the species name is because I can't remember. But the way he loses his lightsaber here, it looks like he's just like
just kind of throws it,
and then Obi-Wan
just catches it. Maybe
then
foreshadowing.
Yeah, no, the Force.
What? Is it the Force?
I was thinking like how would that line up to where he like, yep, there it is. It's within my reach, but he could have Force pulled it.
Yeah, I guess so. Zam Wessel is a Claudite.
Claudite?
And according to Wikipedia, it is a female.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, right there. It did that. It, like you could crash it like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to know these people.
I want to say it's pretty cool how like each movie brought something different in the prequels. Like, yeah, it's sort of reminiscent of the Cantina, but not
really.
That's kind of saying not like this. This is very much
this is its own
cool,
thing.
Yeah, version. And yeah, I think that's where Lucas is best at. Is just like those big ideas, those concepts.
Look at those, like all the advertisements. It looks a little like 2049. It's just a little
Blade Runner.
Yeah, looks a little cleaner and a little more populated. Yeah, here we go into this.
What's the Star Wars language?
Orabesh.
Orabesh.
Even though I don't think that is Orabesh.
They anything that was written in English in the A New Hope and other movies, they went back and put that in there.
Are they
special editions? Yep.
That's an okay change though.
Yeah,
I think.
Hold on, I think the guy that plays Jar Jar Binks is in this part.
Yeah,
and
Abed Best and Anthony Daniels are in here.
I think one of the more favored parts with the whole death sticks.
Oh yeah. Look at that. The
also
sports.
Too, yeah,
they're playing football. It's a sports bar.
Pod racing I get, but the droids playing football. It's I don't know. And I think actually they ripped footage from that Star Wars racer and put it into the movie. I think I heard someone talking about it, and it's literal footage from a PS2 game. But I'm not certain. A little bit of Obi-Wan's charisma for a drink.
There's Hammerhead.
I like too that we're
there
seeing,
he is. There he is. There's Jar Jar.
That we're seeing familiar aliens as well. I mean, yeah, we're seeing some wild stuff, but
I think that's Anthony Daniels' back right there.
Yeah, it is.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
What are those antennas, man?
I don't know. That character to me always looked like a Star Trek character, though.
Yeah, like one for the more lower budget seasons or whatever.
Some of this here looks a bit more Star Trek-y to me.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. The women hitting on Anakin.
Not hitting on her. They're just like, oh, Padawan.
I like your braid. You think it's gonna get him? Do you like that?
Kind of again. Oh, there he is, and there he is again.
Do you like that he did that? That he like he did in the New Hope. And
it's okay. I think it's.
I think it made. Well, I could see the logic of this of the criticism of the last one. It was like, Ewan McGregor is nothing like Alec Guinness, and when you see him do something like that, slowly with a beard, and with that kind of that charisma, like for a drink,
turning into Alec Guinness.
I feel like that kind of promotes that idea.
I need to make
sells it.
I need to make an amendment to something we said during our episode 9 episode.
Episode 9.
our episode 9
the
podcast. Yeah.
discussion.
I said that Anthony Daniels was in it, like in person. That's not right. Like I said that he was one of the people flying a ship. It was not. That was Dennis Lawson. That was Wedge.
Yeah, I missed that, but yeah.
Yeah, I just need to make, because I noticed that the second time I saw it. I was like, yeah, no, that's not him. That's Dennis Lawson.
There's definitely new additions to the council.
Yeah, like where's the ARL Poof?
Or where's Yaddle? I don't think she's in here. And who are these new guys? What is this dude right here with like the snake body?
tail?
That dude gets killed quick in a minute.
He did.
That little
he does.
hammerhead-looking guy.
He's one of the first killed
Shot
in
up
Geonosis.
Django.
This
movie is what?
He's the one who comes up and Django kills him and he falls off.
I will say I have more fond memories of watching this movie in episode 1 than I do Revenge of the Sith, even though I like Revenge of the Sith better, just because I was younger when this one came out, and Phantom Menace, or I was at least younger when I was watching Phantom Menace. But
yeah, I think the time I really got into Star Wars was probably around 2003, 2004.
Yeah,
it's probably when I was like,
I think that's about when I was into it.
It's like when I was like aware of it. It's like I was there for the episode 5 hype. Like I was definitely part of that. Especially
episode 5,
3. Sorry.
I'll say, where were you in 1980? No.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. 3.
I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I think this movie is probably one of the more visually pleasing movies, even though some of it has aged, like the effects. Like we spent a lot of time on Coruscant.
You get to see
Naboo some more. So it's Tatooine,
Naboo,
Geonosis, Camino. I mean, it's.
So here we go. Just the archives. Or
yeah, like why did everything have to be green screen? Like I don't know why he felt that needed to be done.
It definitely makes this a lot more grander.
Yeah, that is one thing for sure.
They couldn't build this. It looks very like Roman.
Yeah, I mean we said that about Naboo, the last one, but yeah,
we said
the whole
Naboo,
arches.
We said yeah.
Also, what's very strange is that Yoda's using that right now, right?
What, the chair?
Yeah, that chair, the floating chair, levitating one. But what is he doing in about an hour or so? Like what? You know what I mean? He comes in with a cane.
Look at that! Installing glass. It's a nice little detail about.
Is it
that thing I like about that is that's like world building. That's like people actually like live here and people do something. They build and do stuff.
What was it they were
like installing a glass. They were replacing the glass that Obi-Wan broke.
That's why I think I said in the last one, the episode 1 episode where I said this one, it seemed like they were bringing more of a realism to this, which seems to be a weird thing to say in regards to Star Wars. My God, Star Wars. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is a little bit world building.
You can see him out there too.
There's politics. Like you didn't really see too much in the originals of like, well, how did this even come to be?
See them like they're cleaning the glass.
Yeah. This part's always a little weird. Like, don't look at me like that. He's like, why? Like, sorry, milady. And you're like, what a freaking creep. I know the intention was not for it to be that way, but it's definitely perceived that way, and it's
Star Wars luggage.
Yeah.
I think they should sell that at Galaxy's Edge.
I think is that the first casual like Force use we've ever seen. He's just like playing with the toy,
just messing around with it.
He's also using it to pick up Padme later on. Sending that pear for the fork.
Yeah, stupid.
I mean, you might as well use it for something like that. I mean,
if you had the Force, would you just be messing around with it too?
Well, I wouldn't never mess around with it.
No.
He's holding me back.
Very casual. He's a girl. He never listens.
I think this is why people say that he's more whiny than Luke and
he's
little Annie.
He's definitely more whiny.
But I think his voice is what sells it.
I was going to the station to pick up some power converters.
Yeah, the whine in his voice is what.
Well, he's only whiny in episode 4. you know, and he's still a kid. He hasn't like taken on this like
I
grand.
think he's technically 19.
You know what I mean? He's like he hasn't come into this. He's not part of.
I feel like I know somebody that looks like Hayden Christensen.
No, but Luke's not part of like a bigger world yet. He's not on this responsibility. He doesn't know he's force sensitive. You know, he's just a farm boy who wants to get off that rock.
I mean, Anakin was a slave, so he had it worse. He has a right to be a little whiny.
Yeah, no, but also, like that wouldn't be as bad if he didn't carry over having already been like, you know, like a Jedi in training already. Like like Luke was only whining for one movie. He's whining for 2.5 movies.
Yeah, I get, even when he goes emo in 3.
Yeah, it's still kind of.
You underestimate my
power.
Yeah. That's one of the most driest lines. Like I know Hayden gets a lot of hate, and I think he did a good job with what he was given. But a little delay.
A little delay again. I was just
should have popped in the DVD.
Pop the VHS.
I don't think it's gonna have that much of an impact, but
no,
it was literally like less than a second, if even that.
That poncho. Why is he wearing that? Is it just being like street clothes, I guess?
I mean, he's not going to get up in the Jedi attire, I guess. Which I've heard a very good point about the prequels, like a criticism. Like, why is it that the Jedi, their outfit, is the same thing Ben Kenobi wore? Because, I mean, he was in exile. He was wearing Tatooine-type clothes. Like, why would he be wearing the same clothes that the Jedis would wear out in the open in the prequels when they're, like, hunted down? They're not supposed to be in existence. You're supposed to kill them. They're hated. But yet he's going to be still wearing those freaking robes?
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why would they be wearing that?
It's an interesting ship.
Yeah, it's like a cruise ship. Almost.
Kinda.
It's not as bad as the yacht thing in 8. Yeah, 8.
Here's the diner. Oh gosh, this was
the thing. The first Lego game. It was
like the hub world.
Yeah.
Hey, ya hun.
It's like you could almost.
Oh my gosh.
Can you even see his crack at one point, Dexter's?
I wouldn't be surprised. It's like so stupid.
Cup of Jawa juice.
What's Jawa juice? Is it the juice of Jawas?
I think it's just coffee.
It's just called that.
Oh, what's the backstory on this?
Oh, yep. Look at that. Pulling his pants up. It's got.
They should have made him a puppet. They could have pulled that off.
Oh, this is a communal clone dart. Look at the mustache.
He's got a tattoo on his right arm. Never noticed that. It looks like a little. Is that a logo or a tear in his shirt? He's like rocking like Abercrombie and Finch. Let
me see. Let me look again when it comes back to it.
See it right?
No, that's a logo. That's.
It's like a.
He's wearing a polo.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, no,
he almost looks like a elite from Halo a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's the head
and the mustache too. Like,
yeah, this is ridiculous and unnecessary. I mean, technically, it is necessary because it is furthering plot.
But
why would he know what that is?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's about his backstory, which we don't get much about.
Dexter Jester. Got some more CGI in the back. Got some Star Trek characters on the bar stool back there. They have bar stools.
They literally look like they're in like a nice red futuristic Waffle House.
It is. It is.
It almost looks like a diner, like in Back to the Future 2 or something.
It's a play on like the 1950s diners. That's exactly what it is, and it shouldn't be in the world of Star Wars.
Yeah, because I mean the cantina in 4 was it was very much its own thing.
Yeah, I can understand them having like a bar. Jocasta knew.
I mean there was the nightclub earlier too, but
even that's a little bit. I can give them that a little bit. Now it being like a sports bar, that's a little on the nose. But
hey buddy, can you change the channel?
Yeah, but a 1950s inspired diner.
So can you do the replay of the Boonta Eve race a couple years ago? It's a classic.
We never found out what Bunta Eve is, even.
Yeah, we didn't Google it or anything. Isn't there a deleted scene where Anakin kills her in the third one?
I think...
Isn't that George's son?
Yes.
I was about to say, 'cause he dies in the next one.
He does, yeah. He's the one who defends Bail Organa.
I wonder who all those great, statues are.
Those busts.
What?
They're busts.
Okay.
It's a bust. If it's from like
neck
the
up,
chest
torso.
up. Yeah.
Oh, what is this supposed to be? It's like a little cargo hangout?
I guess. I mean, how come they can't just go into hyperspace? Just get there like a second.
Reminds me of like an airport.
What?
It's almost like they're in like a
airplane, yeah.
Or like some place in an airport, like a cargo, like an airplane, like a cargo area.
Are they in like the third class area, like in the Titanic?
Yeah.
Because look, like
it's gonna sink.
People we've hit a space iceberg.
We hit a meteor. We're going down.
Well, I think they're also sitting in. I think it is like a third class, like lower
flying economy or whatever.
Well, no, I think it's like the Titanic. You know, like the nice people, like the rich people live up top, and then you go down. And they're doing that so that you can like be like sort of hidden, I guess.
What's your opinion on the relationship between Padme and Anakin in this movie? How it builds?
This is definitely the worst it is. It's a little better in
the third one.
The third one.
Yeah, because it's like they have that. I think anytime you bring in like a pregnancy, it helps the relationship because there's a lot of things you kind of just presuppose about a relationship when a character is pregnant. You know, like.
Yeah.
But with this, he's trying to build it.
Look how bad that one guy looks, the alligator-looking kid.
On the right?
No, like in the middle. I might show him again.
Do you remember oh yeah, I see him. You remember a Pepsi commercial with Yoda in it?
No.
It might have been for 3, but I think he was like sitting at like a bar and he ordered a Pepsi and like drinks it or something. I'm sure we can find it on YouTube. I love how a kid gives the explanation.
How did they not know where Camino is?
Well, my thing is like, why is it that would the Jedi only have like the only maps of the universe or the galaxy is the Jedi in the Jedi Temple?
Yeah,
the database.
Then how does anyone else get anywhere? Okay, wait. Is the Jedi like archive? Is that like public to everyone, or do you have to be a Jedi?
Probably not.
You know, it's like how you can actually go to the Library of Congress.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you don't really see people in there, but probably not. It's probably forbidden.
Are these lightsabers they gave them? These kids like test.
I think it's supposed to be trainers. Because I think they had there's the little thing Luke had, which I always thought that the thing Luke had was like a dummy, like something they found, like Han just so happened to have something like that.
No, they brought it with them.
Obi-Wan did, I guess?
I'm pretty sure that's where that came from. Obi-Wan had it.
He had to replace the batteries because it was a little old.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the battery acid all over.
Now the blast shield, that I don't know where that came from.
Yeah. Naboo.
Now arriving at Naboo International Airport. Naboo International Spaceport.
I like how it shows us a more rural side of it, I guess. I mean, right here is definitely, palace looking, but you sort of get more.
I like the patina on the roofs. Like on the domes.
Yeah.
And this is very Greek.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Greek and Roman are very similar in architecture. Yeah. I mean, it's.
Well, who had the columns?
I think the archways was definitely a Roman thing.
Yeah.
They definitely liked it. I think they both kind of had columns, but I think Romans were definitely more into arches, if I'm not mistaken. I like how R2 had to climb the stairs.
Yeah.
Showed that a little bit.
Oh,
This looks familiar.
sitting outside. Yep. They went and rented out the same space.
So what's her name? She's queen, right?
Those eyebrows, man.
And are they related, or is it just like they elected a new queen? Or I don't even know how that wouldn't even work.
Maybe she's like next in line for the throne. Maybe she's like a cousin.
Whoa, Sihil Bibble got old.
Yeah.
He looks a lot older, but I feel like it looked a lot brighter in Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it's a little duller here. I don't know why she looks like she's from some like Eastern culture, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the Naboo stuff kind of looks that way.
Like it's a little
Chinese, Indian, perhaps.
I was thinking more Chinese or Japanese, sort of more like kabuki or a geisha.
Shut up, Anakin. You're not a politician.
Yeah, why are you? You're just the escort.
Excuse me.
Well, excuse me, princess. That's the
Michelangelo.
No. I was making fun of the Legend of Zelda CDI game. Was that sarcastic?
It was frustrated.
Yeah.
Hyperspace ring.
Yeah, it's like an adapter.
Well, R4. Which that's like a new unit, I guess. Would it be considered a new unit? I suppose.
Yeah, I think his name is like R4D3.
Which that means that by the time of like the sequel trilogy, C-3PO and R2-D2 are like really outdated.
Yeah.
He's got the Republic symbol on the side.
Yeah. Now, what Starfires do you prefer? Do you prefer this one or like the ones from like Episode 3?
I don't know. They're both pretty cool. I think the third one is probably cooler. It looks a bit more. It's almost
looks a little bit more practical.
Yeah, and it's almost like a TIE fighter in a way. Not quite, but it kind of has like that resemblance, I guess.
I don't dislike the first Starfighter. I definitely don't dislike them, but
what do you think of the
Kaminoans? They're okay.
I just don't like how everything's white. It's almost like, well, what's going on?
It's like heavenly almost.
Yeah, they're almost. It's like right now it looks almost like a PS2 game.
Yeah. Okay, so they have a prime minister.
Like
it does. It looks like something out of Mass Effect.
It's like a fish version of the engineers from Prometheus.
Look at those chairs.
Anorexic as well.
Look how casual he's sitting. I feel like he should be sitting a little
more diplomatic.
Yeah.
Did they ever? So they mentioned Sifo-Dyas. Do they ever really elaborate on that? I mean, all I know is that I think somewhere in like the lore or whatever, Sifo-Dyas was.
Yeah, he's just the guy who put the order in, right?
Yeah, but he was ordered by Dooku, I guess, to put that in.
I never really expand on other than this part right here.
Yeah, here we go. So 10 years ago.
So this was like probably around when Episode 1 was going on?
Yeah. And so that's pretty interesting too, that like the clone army was being constructed like.
Well, remember the first ones they made were the ones like Boba Fett where they were young, and it was like, well, this is not going to work. We can't wait for these to grow up. So then they altered them.
I didn't know that
to come out like fully adult.
Well, no, they have like they're like I think their growth rate is just really high, or like speeded up.
No, originally though they started out and like they
regular humans.
They aged regularly.
Is that from like comics or something, or like a TV show?
I think they mentioned it in Clone Wars, and also in Clone Wars 2, they have defects. You know, because like not every one of them's going to come out perfectly.
Oh my God, here's the best part. One of the best lines. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. It's funny. She's talking about her childhood, how lovely it was.
Yeah.
Anakin's like, yeah, by the way, I was a slave. All right? Just shut up. Privileged. Entitled.
Oh, no. Oh.
Here, okay, look, I'll go on the record and defend the line, okay? I know it's stupid.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like why? I think if I had to put myself in Lucas's head and think why put that in there, I think he was just trying to illustrate that he hates his home planet so much down to the grains of sand.
Yeah.
Maybe a better way to do it.
Look at that. Look at that hand.
He's like, don't touch me.
It's like everything here is soft and smooth. He moves it and touches her. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting uncomfortable.
It's too long. They linger on that way too long.
That was fast.
They're there for how long? This is definitely
10 minutes alone.
This is the worst part of this saga.
That, all that. I just lost my train of thought with the text message.
I wonder what that island is out there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's pretty cool seeing all like the embryos. Well, not embryos.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, like early developed.
Fetuses.
Yeah.
Feti. What's the plural of fetus?
I don't think it'd be feti. I think it'd be fetuses.
Maybe it's like deer, or it's all fetus. Like we got 100,000 fetus.
I don't know. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Right here, it looks like Obi-Wan blending in. Doesn't look that bad.
No, it's not as bad here, mostly because there's other stuff back there.
There's the little kitties on their Macintosh ones.
What are those supposed to be?
Microphones or... How'd they get so many? That looks substantially different than the actual actor, does it not?
A little bit.
I think it's because he has longer hair.
Yeah. And these guys are like super clean. Like they haven't seen any wear or combat. They're completely artificial.
No scars.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool that they explained the clone army because, you know, I remember talking to, or hearing people talk about, I can't remember what it was, but it was like something to do with like kids playing with their toys when they're a kid or like when they were young, and they're like, well, let's make a backstory for the Clone Wars. What was that? Yeah. I'm sure that was kind of fun to do back in the day.
Do you prefer the Phase 1 or Phase 2 clone armor?
I don't know. I mean,
honestly, I'm more fond of the Phase 1.
Yeah.
Like this, I like this look more because the other ones are just a little too close to a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, I just think the clones are just cool.
Little mohawk thing going on.
Yeah. Well, also because giant
those things.
Dust mites.
I never thought about it, but yeah, they look like ticks, or like dust mites. Yeah.
No, you never watched Clone Wars, did you? Like the show?
Yeah, I did. Hold on a second. This is like, let's go sit down in this beautiful backdrop in this field of flowers.
Yeah, those are actually weeds.
Well, you know, it looks nice on screen.
Look at the picnic basket back there.
They're on a picnic. Like, seriously.
It's so stupid.
An artist? A little flirtation.
Like 2 or 3 what?
Politicians.
Oh.
She said, you don't like politicians, do you?
So I guess he's talking about her, Jar Jar.
And Palpatine?
And Palpatine. Oh, maybe.
Jar Jar's his favorite.
He hasn't met Palpatine, has he, at this point?
Yeah, he has. They've remember he was talking to him earlier and he was like telling him how he was a...
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
They could see him be a great Jedi one day or whatever. People, it seems like people hate this movie more than the first one almost.
Well, it's because this is awful, and not even in like the funny way. It's just not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I can get past this. The part where he's like surfing on top of the
on
little
the thing,
dust
on the
mite.
dust
looking
mite.
things. Yeah, that gets me. I'm just like,
See how she has the lamb buns?
yep.
No, this is
Running through the field.
it's like the credits of Little House on the Prairie. No, this is stupid. Yeah. All right. Whoa. So what are these supposed to be?
I guess cows. PETA would not like this. And he's dead.
Directed by George Lucas.
Why is their hindquarters and rear end so big?
Oh gosh, it's so bad.
It's almost like George Lucas never watched a romance movie or like saw one that was just,
or George Beck,
or was aware of like the archetypes and like the
like,
cliches of them all.
He's like this would be hot.
Sexy. Like,
I think you should both roll around the grass a little bit.
Sure,
Those things are cool. Like they swim and they fly. And they're like manta rays, but dragons.
I remember reading a Boba Fett book series as a kid.
It's just so on the nose. Like, Boba, how's your father? Because they're not Mandalorians.
Yeah, so now the lore's kind of changed for the Mandalorians. It's not because for a while it seemed it was a race.
Well, no, it's never been a race. There are people.
It was. I don't know.
Okay.
I think you're right.
In the planet, there is in the Clone Wars there is a planet Mandalore.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Coruscant, and I could be wrong because I haven't seen it in a while. But like, if you become a Mandalorian, that is more like a religious creed.
So yeah, it seems like it's established as a religion. I like how the freaking suit's right there.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan couldn't just. Well, I've seen that suit before.
Yeah. Just right there. How does he have that?
What?
The Mandalorian armor.
Past, I guess.
Yeah.
Something to do with his past.
Well, because that's not Boba's armor either.
Well, I thought the thinking was that was his armor. Eventually, like that was passed down to him. He was wearing his father's armor, and it just aged poorly. But then again, it's like, how did it turn? I don't know.
I always thought it was he like acquired it,
made some
over like
new additions.
The years, yeah. Because they're similar, but they're actually different.
Also, too, he would be, if by the logic of the new show, he's breaking Mandalorian code right now.
Well,
so I guess he's like a defect.
He's not a Mandalorian.
He just has the armor.
He just has the armor. He's just a bounty hunter.
I could have sworn he was like maybe at one point a Mandalorian and then like defected or something. I don't know.
Well, that's always been the lore with Mandalorians, is they don't ever take off the armor.
Well, I guess I don't know my stuff then. Similar transitions.
Yes. The stupid pear thing, is that right here?
Yep. Negotiations with a lightsaber. I mean, wouldn't you do that though if you had the Force and you were on like a semi-date? I mean, wouldn't you like do something?
Be
cool
messing
like
around
that?
with it?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why doesn't he cut it with the Force?
Yeah, I think that'd be cooler. I'm fine with it, I guess.
It's not as bad as other stuff, and I hate that too. There's the how's it
think
right onto the fork. That's the worst.
This is I think of all of the meetings between these two, like the scenes where it's just them two. This is the worst one. This is the absolute worst one. Like I can like, yeah, I'll look past that. I'll look past it. But this one is just
past the picnic and surfing on the ticks.
Well, that one it's like a little less, but this one is just like,
the day has come by when I haven't thought of you.
It's like he's trying too hard. It's like a guy that just figure out he could write some poetry, and so he's just going all out, super pretentious, and
I write music.
Exactly. He's like looking up words in the thesaurus.
If they had him playing an instrument in this, like
singing a song
like
to her,
serenading her.
Oh my god! I'm glad he didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should have never given me.
He gave it to her.
That's true, but she allowed it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would not become a scar. Like I said, it's too. You were in my very soul, dude. You just reunited with her like a day ago. Like, chill out, Romeo.
What's the sleeping situation here?
Yeah, I never thought about that. It's probably like the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Separated. Yeah. Maybe Anakin went and knocked on her door. And
should we do the Indiana Jones movies?
Maybe eventually, but let's focus on this.
Yeah.
Did he do the thing where he's like, "I wish"? Did he said that yet?
I wish I could wish away my feelings.
Yeah, hold on, let's see. I don't know if he said it yet. Anything is possible.
Ugh.
Finally, some realism.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, Padme's part isn't that bad. That's not a bad thing to ask.
It's not.
I know I can't.
Oh, that's
couldn't he like?
This is a terrible line.
Like, couldn't Lucas have found a different like a word? Like, if I'm writing a paper or something, like I'll definitely, if I'm like too repetitive with a word like that, like I wish I could just wish away my feeling. Like I would look up the second time the use of wish and just do like a synonym, just so it flows better. But I don't know.
I wish I could just eradicate my feelings. Or
wipe away or something.
Exactly. Anything. Don't repeat don't repeat the word.
Maybe he thought that was the paradox of it. I don't know how that makes sense. The best part though with this whole
like,
Anakin,
I can't just wish away my feelings. That would even be better. Yeah.
I think the best part between Anakin and Padme is all the Tatooine stuff, or really just that, like, not just the men. That part is cool. That part is good because it's like that's actually kind of dark.
People give crap on that, but it really is actually.
Yeah, I think
it shows a lot of character development, especially like what Yoda foreshadowed in Episode 1. It's like fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering.
If you think about it, it's actually a really messed up act for a Jedi to do.
Oh yeah, just this slaughtering of a. Just genocide.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I mean, not quite, because it was more of a village. But
yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't.
He eradicated an entire village, probably. And if there were more, he'd probably just keep going. Which is, it's almost like bringing it's almost like an evolution of like what he's capable of. Like, he went from killing tons of Tusken Raiders, children as well, and women, helpless, then in the next movie, killing younglings. So I think it sort of shows a little bit of like asking the question of like, well, where did he? All of a sudden he's bad. He's killing younglings and Padawans. And the next one, it's like, well, he did kill.
Yeah,
it's like a stepping stone almost. Like, he killed. I mean, it wasn't his species, I guess.
Yeah,
I
think maybe they could have done the delivery a little better, but I'm definitely not upset about what he did. Well, I mean,
You support the genocide of Tusken Raiders?
No. Sad people.
It is kind of cool, too, seeing how, like, Palpatine orchestrated so much. And it's almost like, if the Jedi are so powerful, how the heck do they not know anything? They seem to be very unaware of a lot. Which, I mean, that's, plot. It makes sense for the plot. It needs to be that way in a way.
I'm glad Mace Windu gets a little bit more of a role in this one as opposed to Episode 1.
3, it's a pretty cool role too, and really that one's just about showing his like swordsmanship, his power, I guess.
We see that in this too.
That is true, yeah. But I mean, he went up against Sidious. Like, he's one of the few guys that we've ever seen to like, really,
Yeah.
In fact,
there's only 3.
I think he's the only one that really bested him, I guess.
Well, he came close. Yeah, he came.
He could have killed him right there. He's the only one that did it, I guess. Because Luke didn't do it.
Rey didn't do it.
Well, Man, I don't even want to talk about that. I like that shot. Him just standing there,
reflecting,
meditating. Don't go. He's like, oh, why are you so weird, Annie?
Annie, you're just, oh.
How did she know? Were they in the bed or? I mean, I don't know. Here's another foreshadowing.
What about the dreams in episode 3?
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think it's almost like now, if you have like a really bad character, it's like the only way sometimes, or the easiest way to explain away why they became bad and went from good to bad.
It was a dream.
It's some kind of like relationship issue. Like something happened, they were screwed over. You know, my mom died, or like my loved one was in this trouble, so they do it for that reason. And you see that a lot, you know, in storytelling. Like I said, it's definitely like an easy / believable / effective way of showing that fall. Because I don't know how else you do it in a way.
No, I do think this
I don't know.
I think this is the slave one from episode 5.
I mean, if they're going to introduce it, it might as well be the same ship. I kind of like how they chose to do the pistols instead of the rifle. I think that was kind of a cool choice.
Yeah.
Did you ever play that Jango Fett game? I think it was called actually Bounty Hunter. It's like a PS2 Xbox game.
No.
It's pretty cool. It's actually really good.
And also think about this too, that one thing I do like is they actually show off all this gear.
Yeah,
that Boba Fett has, and they don't ever.
I think that's maybe one reason why he did it. And so the thinking would be, or like Lucas did this, where he actually shows us what Boba could have been. Because if Boba's a clone, then like naturally it's like, well, he can probably do just what his dad does. And
I don't think that's the reason why. I think the reason why is we have to explain Boba Fett. And
well, not only that, but I think it's also for fan service, where it's like, yeah, we never got to see what this guy in this cool suit does, and finally getting to see that is pretty cool.
We actually get to see well, no, technically we do see the jetpack in Jedi.
Yeah, but I think he was a very underutilized character in the originals, Boba Fett. But
oh yeah, definitely.
Well, how did he miss? Like,
why didn't he just let go? He's holding it, isn't he?
No, it's wrapped around him.
Oh,
it's like the Luke thing.
Yeah, and that too. Like we never even knew about those, the gauntlet knives.
And so yeah, well, that's what the thing too is like. Then you're like, well, what else did Boba have? Maybe
that's the same problem you have with R2-D2.
Oh, the new gadgets.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's
fly?
Like, yeah, it's like, why did he do that at Cloud City or something? Like on Endor.
Well, Endor all he had
maybe
was
his old age.
All he had on Endor was a little saw.
Oh yeah, I forgot the whole droid factory thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about too much until we get there, but
now how does he keep the jetpack on? Because the toys he has a big hole in his back.
I think he's got one here too.
It's probably magnetic. So dramatic that Force used to, like, I gotta pause and wait.
I didn't really think that.
I'm a fan of the slave.
You're overly critical. You never listen. No.
Actually, kind of show a little of the inside of the slave one. Well, actually, there's a great like arc in the Clone Wars with young Boba Fett, where it's actually him and Bosk and Aurra Sing.
Yeah, I remember watching that when it came out. I think it was like 4th grade.
No, it would have been. No, it would have been.
I think it was season 2, and I think that was because the show came out in like 08, 09. So I think the second season, I remember watching that when it came out in like 5th grade or so. Let me check. I'm pretty sure.
I think
it was either 4th or 5th grade. But I remember watching like the previews for that.
Yeah, no, but it's very good also. That's a very good arc. It's one of my very favorites of the arcs in all Clone Wars. Also, you get to see the inside of the Slave One in there.
Yeah, season 2 was 2009, so it would have been like 5th grade.
Oh. But when in 2009?
Fall.
That would have been
5th grade. 09-10 was our 5th grade year.
You're right.
But yeah.
Watto.
Do you like how we revisit this? It's kind of cool. Because,
I don't dislike it.
You could ask, like, well, what happened until that, like, settlement or whatever it was?
How does he not recognize him at all? Well, I mean, I guess
look at him. I mean, it's been, like...
10 years.
Yeah. Why does he got flies around him? Is he to wipe?
I guess it's just to show the dirtiness of here.
This one even looks more Jewish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the hat almost. I don't know why, but...
Hani Shalom.
Yeah. That was one thing we talked about the last one. Was like the subtle, like, weird stereotypes. The Nemoidians. Watto. What was another one? That might have been it. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense for him to come see him because, like, if he had to find her, I think probably the first place he would go would be the house, and the second place he would look for Watto.
Well, I would go straight to Watto because
he owns her.
Well, yeah. So it's like he owns her, so it's like, yeah, he would be responsible for where she is. He'd at least know. Is that a... Oh, never mind.
He's got some weird tint on him. Like he looks like he's not there.
I read some book as a kid, and you know the little Rodian from the first one?
Yes.
I read this book, and it was like that Rodian grew up and took over Watto's shop when he was older, after Watto died or something.
Is that canon?
No, it was like some Luke Skywalker book, and it was like Luke went to Tatooine to like discover things of his other parts of his home.
Now, is that Geonosis?
Geonosis. Yeah, it is. The whole Tatooine thing, this whole movie is kind of like, yeah, you remember that? Yeah, this is the beginning of it. Yeah, it's like this movie is very much kind of like that in a way.
It's a lot.
Like episode 1, it was like
how this trilogy is.
Yeah, episode 1, it was like, yeah, you saw Tatooine, but it's not like the Lars Homestead. Check that out. Or Slave One ship, Jango Fett.
These are cool. I like these. The little like sonic bombs.
Yeah.
Seismic charges.
I saw something that was like explaining how this is like scientifically inaccurate. Which this whole movie is.
Ugh. I mean, it's still interesting. It's something we haven't really seen before.
But I don't know.
For the Clone Wars, it was a Toys R Us only set. It was like over $100, but it was the Slave One and Mace Windu's Starfighter, and you got like 5 or 6 figures also.
I don't remember.
And I have it, and it's the Slave One, and it has those bombs. You can actually, like, there's a button on the side you can press it, and it actually drops those seismic charges.
This is definitely reminiscent of Empire.
Yeah.
It's just like a new version. Did you see this movie in theaters?
You already asked me that. No,
you didn't. Yeah, I didn't either.
This is the only Star Wars film I have not seen in theaters.
You saw Phantom Menace?
The 3D re-release.
So did I, but like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to say that?
What? I saw it. But on the big screen.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean, though, when it came out. I mean, you'd been like 2 years old, but still.
When episode 1 came out?
Or like less than 2. Or no, you'd have been 2, right?
I've been like 1.5.
Yeah, you've been like 1.5. I've been like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, but...
which is kind of weird to think that, like... Yeah, I mean, we grew up with the prequels. Like, we are the prequel generation, which is kind of... Someone's like, I don't really like that. But then again, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's... You know, it's not like we didn't have the originals. Because there's definitely that, like,
But we're that...
Like the dissection between, we're that fans or whatever.
We're that group now that are, like... The prequels aren't that bad.
Yeah.
And where the sequel trilogy sucks, you know, where the... Because I feel like that's... why does he just have, like, what is that? Just
if you think about it in a way, did we not grow up with the new ones as well in a way? I mean, we're only... Because I'm 21 and you're 22, so it's like, I mean, were we grown up at this point? I mean,
I was...
Have we crossed that line? Because, I mean, we were juniors in high school.
I was about to turn... I was almost 18 when Force Awakens came out.
But think about that. If you were the same age when, like, A New Hope came out, or, you know, Empire, you'd be like, yeah, I grew up watching those movies. I remember seeing them in theaters back in high school or whatever. You'd probably say the same thing, right?
No, probably not.
I mean, maybe.
Because I didn't, like, grow up as, like, a child watching the new ones.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
This is kind of pointless. But
I feel like if you grew up with the original trilogy, so someone like my dad.
You're like born like early 70s.
Yeah.
Mid 60s.
Yeah, like
late 60s.
Late 60s into the
early 70s.
Mid 70s even.
Or even, you could say the 80s, because, I mean, before then it's like or even the early 90s in a way. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Early 90s probably not, but like my uncle, he was born in 77 and he still grew up with these. Also because my dad and his older brother.
I mean, if you grow up before 99, it's like, yeah, this is all you had.
Yeah, but like, yeah, again, most like mid 60s into like mid late 70s. You're like, we love the original trilogy. We hate the sequel trilogy. We kind of like sorry. We love the original trilogy. We hate the prequel trilogy. We kind of like the sequel trilogy. Like, that's how that's everyone my dad's age are like that. And us, we're like, we love the original trilogy. We're very sympathetic to the prequel trilogy, and we're not huge fans of the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But I think people who grow up with the sequel will be like, we love the originals. We don't really like the prequels, but we don't hate them. And we love the sequel trilogy because we grew up with them.
Do you like the, to kind of get back to the movie?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, that's fine, it's fine. But you like the whole, like, C-3PO? Because I feel like sometimes when they do this stuff, it's almost like, well, how can we make this an exclusive action figure?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like sometimes. Like C-3PO's red arm. Like,
what about their cameo in Rogue One?
They had one?
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember that. I've only seen that movie like twice.
They're in there for like 3 seconds.
Yeah. I always thought that the
there's Joel Edgerton.
I wonder, like, how. I mean, so if you were to see the original Star Wars in '77, you would have thought that was legitimately Luke's uncle, right? That was his father's brother, and really, it's just his stepbrother.
Yeah, because
what's this guy's name?
Owen Lars?
No, the dad.
No.
Lee, something with L.
Something
Klieg
Lars. Yeah, so he ended up marrying Shmi, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he already had Owen at this.
Remember that?
What?
Red milk instead of blue, or is that purple?
That's not milk at all. That's more like flavored water.
It's a Hawaiian punch. I always thought the artwork above them, that archway, it looks like Darth Maul's painting, like his tattoos.
And it's like, look at us. We're sitting at the same dinner table that he talks about.
Yeah.
Why don't you go to the academy next year?
Yeah. I mean, the guy kind of looks like Owen a little bit.
Which one? Owen looks like Owen?
Like Klieg, the guy Klieg looks like if he had a son, it might turn out to look like
Uncle Owen. Yeah, maybe. Oh, up there above him?
Yeah, I always thought it kind of has like that
little
Darth Maul look.
Or those boxes up there. Those look like...
They just moved in.
Yeah.
Haven't unpacked yet.
Those look like...
There's the buns again.
They look like camera and electrical boxes. There's the speed ray takes out.
What is that is like a little black dome thing.
Black dome?
Is that they're like...
Oh, what is that? Well, that's how you get down into like the pit.
No. The, well, I don't know if I'll show it again.
It's like that right there. That's not bad.
What?
Like just like the
shots?
shadows. Like
Yeah.
that's literally like a matter of show don't tell.
Yeah. Classical show don't tell. I wish I could just. This part right here is pretty cool. Probably the coolest part of the movie, where he's just pissed off,
Just
zooming down Tatooine.
right here. How long has it been? Look at the day. Like that.
Well, he
that's
probably
like,
has to travel out very far.
That's like sunset.
Yeah, I always think this part is probably like just that
With
anger, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's more like, it's not even just he's mad, like he wants to kill.
Oh no, it's hatred. It's not even anger. It's
Yeah.
hatred.
Just kills all the Jawas because he's mad.
I like how we kind of see them too.
How does he understand them? And why do their ships look so updated from?
That's how they always look.
But the interior looked like it was.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe they're newer. Then they get old.
Well, yeah, but like it looked like it was like the technological advances or something. Like it had technological advances.
For a second, I was like, "It's like, where is he now?" It's like, "Oh, it's Obi-Wan." Is this where we see like them actually showing like the Death Star plans?
Yeah, I think so. Which I think that's pretty cool, because again, you have to build up.
Oh yeah, no, that's
It's like the Empire is like, if you didn't have like subtle, like, hey, this is happening, this is gonna happen, like connections.
We're thinking about this.
It'd be too sudden. It'd be like, this is unbelievable.
It's like, yep, the Death Star we built 18 years. It's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, I mean everything from like the clone army being into effect.
This is where they make battle droids. We get a little bit of backstory on them. Well, there's also where we first see super battle droids too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I don't really like the battle droids at all. I don't know how you are with them. I think we talked about it
a little bit.
Yeah, it's not a huge fan. It's kind of like childish almost.
This is the first time we see Count Dooku.
Dude, we're only an hour in. Like an hour and like... we started about 3 minutes before we hit play. Or this recording is about 1:15
This
or
movie
so.
feels long.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have too much more. Like about 45 minutes or so.
This movie's almost 2.5 hours.
I think it's like 2:15.
It's 2:22.
2:22?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, it picks up in a minute, but yeah.
Man number one explains. We've got subtitles on.
I kind of like Obi-Wan's sneaking around a little bit. It's kind of cool. It's kind of reminiscent
I was always
of
fond of this guy.
Yeah.
I always thought he was cool looking.
It's kind of reminiscent, kind of going back to what we said earlier with the whole like, hey, this is kind of like what Alec Guinness did of like sneaking around the Death Star.
Yeah. That guy looks bad. Like, I don't like how he looks.
Why is the Neimoidians not CGI, but everyone else is?
I don't know.
It's almost like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. We like fell, like dropped something.
Well, now it's nighttime.
There's 3 moons on Tatooine. Did you see that? It was like 3 moons.
I mean, they have 2 suns.
Yeah. So there's 2.
For planets, like, 1 moon is actually kind of rare.
Yeah.
And so...
First time we see those dogs. The first time we see like female Tusken Raiders, I think. All right, do we even see the female ones? Well, we see kid ones, but
in here, I think
we do see kids.
Well, I know we see
don't see
kids, yeah,
females.
but I think they look so similar. What are these huts made of? They look like sort of like guano.
Like those like trays they give you at like Burger King to take out your drinks.
Yeah,
It's like made of that.
That's what they're made of.
How did he? I guess the Force. I was gonna say, how did he know which one to like? It's like Shmi Skywalker holding cell. It's like
it's like a label. Dead slave storage. Now, why?
They have a nice fire for her, but they.
Why do they have? Her? Why do they have her?
Because I feel like they would have killed her. Like, why would they keep her? Like, what's the purpose in keeping her alive?
I mean, could you imagine if he got there like 10 minutes later?
Yeah. I was listening to like some kind of like theory on I think it was like Thor Skywalker, the YouTuber.
Uh-huh.
And he kind of talked with like Rey going back in time and being Shmi or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
She says something like, "My mission is complete," or like, "I'm complete," or something. And this is I don't know. I don't want to go down that road, but
She's only got a couple cuts. Like what's so?
I think she's probably just starved.
Oh,
That's probably what it is. So, do you feel sad when you watch this moment?
I mean, I definitely have some empathy for him, but
I think it's kind of cool. He's so much in denial. Like,
no.
yeah, like he's gonna save her and bring her back, and everything's gonna be fine. And
It's like, literally, what if he showed up like 3 minutes later?
well, I think it's similar to the Padme thing, where like now, because she's complete, her will is gone or something. I don't know. Maybe that will,
because he technically saved her.
yeah. So she's complete, like she said. But yeah, I mean, oh no, he's gonna just kill them all.
I mean, put yourself in Anakin's situation.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably want to take him out.
Daddy!
I knew him. I wish it would have shown us more. I think there might be a comic that does. I don't know. Why is it Qui-Gon's voice? I feel like they put that in there and then it's like, well, you don't, what was he doing? It was his ghost on the.
Yeah, it was like his spirit, and he's like, I guess it's like, I had hope in you, and like he's sort of still watching. He's like
crying out in like the netherworld or something, or the ether.
Yeah. Hate leads to suffering. It's almost as if 1,000 voices cried out in help.
Yeah.
It's
like they can sense so much, or like they can sense the pain, but it's like
they can't say Anakin slaughtered an entire race,
they can't
entire tribe of Tusken Raiders.
Vision, like an accurate and very detailed vision. How do you say Coruscant or Coruscant? Because I've heard even George say Coruscant or something.
I say Coruscant.
Yeah. I'll take a sausage Coruscant, please.
Cool. I want a Coruscant roll.
Yeah, McDonald's has some pretty good croissants.
I like my croissants with butter. I do hope nothing's happened to him.
What's weird is like, it's like Anakin goes from like getting a feeling or a message kind of that Shmi is in trouble, and you see how that works out, and then he gets another message.
How does he know he's not on Naboo?
I think they probably tracked his ship, or he couldn't find him or something. I don't know. Those mini kangaroos? What are those?
They're not womp rats. They're too small.
Oh, do you ever notice how like the
do you know how big a womp rat actually is?
I think it's about the size of that.
No, they're bigger. They're 2 meters.
Really?
It's like the size of a cow. Yeah. And so
why was it? Well, I always thought they were small.
No.
I mean, the womp rat. It wouldn't make sense.
No, and
that's a terrible. I just have like a terrible joke.
No, it's like Luke's like, we used to.
What if I almost don't want to say it.
It's like Luke was like, we used to like hop on womp rats. Like, imagine doing that like to the actual size of a womp rat here on Earth. It's like right around the trunk with like a rocket launcher blowing up cows.
Yeah.
What were you saying? That's terrible.
I could see like if Family Guy did like a prequels version.
They'd spill her out. They'd drop her.
Yeah, he's like going like just flying down Tatooine and. Like, crap.
I really want Family Guy to do the prequels.
Yeah, like why didn't they do that? It's almost like now it's not really
relevant
to the time almost. But I wish they would.
They could do some funny stuff.
Oh yeah, they'd probably be funnier than the
originals.
Yeah.
They could like totally just make fun of
Anakin's acting, little Annie.
Yeah,
I feel like they need to do that, man. I mean, think about it. They've been going on for so long. That's a good idea. I think this is probably the best.
I hate.
I think it's probably the best acting that Hayden's done in this movie. Right here, maybe a little bit. I mean, of all the things we've got, I mean, I will say that I think one of the best things about his performance is just that glare he has, like that angry, like like that part in Revenge of the Sith when he turns.
It's not his fault. It's mostly the dialogue. It's the writing.
Yeah. Why did she have to die? I was like, well, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, look, remember where Luke was playing around with his little skyhopper and giving C-3PO a bath? Remember that? Here we are.
Is it the same?
It's the same room, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Oh, so yeah, you're right. I never really. Wow. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that, but.
You see, that's where C-3PO was getting the oil.
That's exactly where Leia's message was too. Wasn't it?
Or they had
like right in front of the bath thing.
Have Anakin say it's like she was my only hope.
No, I wouldn't like that. Like, stop. I like how he admits this though. It's kind of cool how he's just like, I killed. Yeah. It's kind of creepy how he says, and not just the men. That's what I'm saying. Like that. This is probably the best acting in this whole movie.
She's like, it's like
chill, dude.
Jeez.
She's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the ship. C3 or like R2, let's get out of here. This guy's a psycho.
And then like Owen's like, hey, where you going? Just leave him on Tatooine.
He kills all the Lars people, like burns down the homestead.
That's what actually Luke came back to.
Anakin, it's like Darth Vader landed and killed them all, like the Tusken Raiders. In episode 4.
I hate them.
I always thought, when I was a kid, for some reason I thought it'd be cool if Chewbacca showed up somewhere in this movie.
In 2 specifically?
Yeah, for some reason when I didn't see this movie, I hadn't seen it yet.
He's like, goodbye, my darling wife. It's like, did you really have that big a connection with her?
Why aren't you crying?
Why didn't you go out and try to find her? Because they didn't know where she was, did they?
No, because I think he said like that. There's like a Tusken Raider party that came, I guess when they were like farming or something, and took her. What's the other tombstone?
I don't know. Look at him grabbing the sand.
It's the only thing, even though he hates it, that brings him comfort in that moment. It's very poetic. It rhymes.
I'm gonna be taking that back.
What's the afterlife in Star Wars aside from Jedi and Sith? I guess it's just death. I think I would assume. I mean, because not every Jedi, I guess.
Yeah, and only some Jedi have. Well, because there's 3 tombstones.
Maybe she's. I don't know. Maybe she's laid down in line with them, like parallel with them below.
That's what I was thinking. But what? There are 3 headstones. Who else
Maybe.
is there?
I don't know.
That's Padme's best outfit in the whole trilogy.
Think so?
Yeah. It's the best looking one. It's also probably when I think of Padme, I think of her like that.
Yeah, because it's like that. It's almost like adventure. Like she can actually do stuff. It's
yeah.
Like, hang on, I got to hold my headdress as I run. Or,
yeah. Whenever I think of Padme, whenever I think of like the 3, I think of like the promotional images from episode 2.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like Leia in episode 4 a little bit. Just because of the white, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I guess you could say Anakin's so vulnerable in this point that he can't let his master die too. So it's like the perfect, like, of course he's going to want to try to go save him. He just lost an important person in his life, so now he has to go save his master.
I like how they call Count Dooku by name, so they know who he is. They know he's a problem.
What's his Darth name?
Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah. Tyrannosaurus? No.
Yes. Then why they call him Count Dooku? It's kind of silly.
It's kind of a weird name, Dooku.
Count
It's too
Dooku.
close. It's too close to Dookie. You know, it's
Yeah.
just a little too close to Dookie.
Yeah.
And what does like count? Like, what does that mean in Star
It's
Wars?
a good thing it's not Darth Dooku.
Yeah, because then it'd be like Darth Doo-Doo or something. You know, like all the jokes and memes that would come out of that. And all of a sudden, right after the funeral, Anakin perks up with a smile.
All right, let's go kill some wasps.
Yeah, they're a little.
Why is C-3PO coming with him?
He's like, wait, that's my droid.
I guess they don't need a protocol droid.
Yeah, why would they? And what? So if Klieg bought Shmi, why would C-3PO come in the package of the deal? You know, like why would he get a protocol
Because
droid?
they just moved the house.
I guess that was part of Shmi's property. I guess technically.
Or would it have been Watto's?
Yeah, I guess that would have
Well, I think she still would have owned C-3PO.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it naturally follow that everything she owns, Watto would technically own too?
Well, then wouldn't that mean everything that Lars owned when he sold her, when Watto sold her? So
I don't know.
When he inherited everything? I don't know. We're looking at the
Little tangent.
Where's the contract? Or is this just like an under the table deal?
Probably. I mean, knowing Watto, it's probably under the table. I wonder how much he paid.
I never liked that.
I think this conversation is cool.
Yeah, the conversation's not bad, but the
more interesting parts of the movie.
The way he's captured, I don't like that. It doesn't fit anything else in Geonosis.
Like Dooku has to like follow it just to make eye contact.
Yeah, why is he spinning? Like he's on like display.
It's like, and this here, children, is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, exactly. He was like
Exhibit A.
I do remember in the Lego game how you have to free him. You have to break off all those.
Yeah, I remember
parts.
that. When are they coming out with that? The new Lego game?
There's no release date yet.
Sometime this year or next?
It's supposed to be this year.
Okay. So Dooku is Qui-Gon's, or he was Qui-Gon's master, right?
What?
Dooku was Qui-Gon's master, isn't that right?
I think so. And then Yoda taught Dooku.
Okay. Well, who taught Yoda?
I mean, Yoda's old.
Yeah. They might have touched on it in like comics or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no release date yet for Skywalker Saga. You know, I am looking forward to that.
There's the classic, join me kind of thing in this.
The what?
The whole like the bad guy asking the good guy to join me.
Yeah.
I guess that's the first time in the movies or this trilogy would have been that happens. The whole like join me.
In this trilogy.
Yeah. Or like chronologically in the timeline maybe. Or that we see at least. Also, yeah, he admits that the head of the Senate or the Republic is Darth Sidious. Which, if you hadn't watched the originals, that'd have been a interesting thing to think about.
The originals? What are you talking about?
Like, if you hadn't seen the original movies and you just watched them in order, like episode 1, 2, the plot twist of Palpatine being the bad guy all along would have been maybe something interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do you like the Senate stuff?
Yeah.
It's all right.
There's some parts that are okay, but there's sometimes where it's like, let's just get to something that's not just talking.
Misa propose.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said earlier, it's like this is where he's actually sort of talking a little bit more diligently or with a little bit more dignity. Like,
Think he wrote a speech? Is it improv?
Yeah. Well, do they have like a teleprompter somewhere, or does it just have to go on memory? Because this is the whole where Jar Jar actually gives him the power.
Yep. Big cataclysm in this whole series, I guess. So really, if he hadn't have done this,
that's a line.
If he hadn't have done that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Created with a red mohawk or a Rhodian. Doesn't that look like the thing from Flubber? The little yellow camera thing passing by?
A little bit, yeah.
And what's weird too is that like when they find out the knowledge of it, of the clone army, they're just like, yeah, we'll take it. That's what it feels like almost. Yeah. Yeah, we'll take this grand army.
So is that thing right there, is that just a camera?
Yeah, they're like streaming the event.
Live stream.
I mean, there's the internet, I guess, in Star Wars. They talk about the HoloNet.
Yeah.
Like journalists, I guess. Yeah, this part, it's...
Well, the thing I like about Geonosis is like it's desert, but it's different desert. You know, it's not.
Yeah, it's more rocky.
Yeah,
terrain.
Yeah, a lot of like geysers and gas pockets coming out.
You know, like Jakku, it's just like, well, you might as well have just made it Tatooine. I mean, there's nothing that makes it stand out. You know, I mean, you've got a cantina type place. Well, actually, no, that was a different planet, but I mean, you've got just, there's no buildings that's like, oh, yeah, that's a Jakku thing, aside from like maybe the Star Destroyer that crashed or whatever, but...
Yeah. He calls him my obtuse little friend right there, but they're not really friends.
Well, I guess his protocol is to be friendly with everything, or everyone.
I guess like, you know, like droid to droid.
Yeah. Wasn't it in a Lego game they rang the doorbell?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think Anakin like rang the doorbell. Yeah, this movie is just kind of...
Why does she have a blanket around her? Like, that's like not a super practical cape, I think.
For adventuring?
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta ditch that real quick.
Yeah, it's like crap and just leave it.
I think she does. Did you have I remember I had like this action figure of like that C-3PO, but you could switch his head.
Yeah, I had that too. You could put the Battle Droid head on, you could put the Battle Droid pack on, you could hold the gun. But the thing about that is I always wish I had a Battle Droid with C-3PO's head.
Did they make that? I'm sure they did.
If they did, I didn't have it.
I mean, Star Wars is one thing that's like, if you see it on screen, you can almost bet there's a toy of it.
Yeah. I really liked the...
It's kind of gross, man. It's like coming out of the wall. They're just like sleeping together.
They're like bugs, you know?
Yeah.
Like how bees are. Some of the noises are a little silly.
Oh, dang, dude. You just split them right down the middle. And this movie's PG.
Yeah.
It's only PG.
Yep.
Are all the sequel trilogies PG-13?
Yes.
I imagine so.
And then Revenge of the Sith is PG-13.
I almost feel like if this one came out today, it might have been PG-13 just because of like the undertones of it. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. But the thing is, like, you saw him decapitate like right two there. Tusken Raiders. Like, I feel like maybe this should have been PG-13.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they should have cut their heads off.
Avengers Endgame is PG-13, and there's decapitation in that.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, this movie's PG.
Yeah.
And it has that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of old movies are kind of like that. It could be rated G, and it's got...
Yeah.
I think Star Wars was originally... was it G?
No,
but then again, the ratings were kind of different back then. Like PG was like...
MPAA was way different back then. No, you could have stuff that's like... Well, also PG-13 didn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. I think PG was like anyone older than a preteen or something like that. I remember seeing like the rating, and it was like, this movie is suitable for... It was like
kids can see it, but parental guidance is like...
Yeah.
There might be something a parent might not agree with. This is the most limber we see C-3PO.
Like that looks so like it's like a parody almost. That droid.
Yeah.
It's kind of. It's got
What?
a head and arms. What?
He can fly.
I guess it's kind of cool that we get to see the manufacturing of the droids in a way.
He's destroying millions of credits worth of machinery.
But the supervisor's not happy. That soundbite of her screaming, it was like used in the Lego game like countless times. Like anything happened to Padme when you're playing, that scream.
This right here, it's like
what? Why didn't he do that? You know. This is definitely a little spoofy, you know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny in a way, I guess.
This is definitely not the worst thing in this movie.
Yeah. If anything, it is kind of funny. It's like, well, here you go,
And he just ends up in the right perfect spot.
The most friendliest droid in character, probably. Almost like to a fault, too innocent. And now he's going, die, Jedi, die, you know, later on.
Yeah. I think it's also weird how, because he's like part of this batch that end up out like on the front lines immediately. It's like, does there need to be like testing, or are there other ones that have been made? That doesn't make sense to me either. This right here, it's like, how is his arm like still okay? I feel like that would be completely.
And what is that? What's the function of that outside of his arm being inside of it?
Of that piece? I don't know. Man, what if Padme went like that? What a horrible death.
It's not quite like carbonite.
That's worse.
Yeah, like what is
this piece?
It almost looks like a mold of. Oh, maybe it looks like maybe a part to like a super battle droid or something. But then again, it's like mounted to the. I don't know.
Yeah.
And where do they dump this?
Yeah, what is this for?
Yeah. I like how it's like opens up the previous ones immediately. Pause.
Yeah.
It's like when the bad guy has the good guy at like gunpoint and he's like talking. There's that moment where they just stare at each other.
Yeah. I like how R2 has like, he can do it just right there. It's just the controls right there. Like, what is that? Just like, it's like a giant knife.
I'm trying to see what that is. Like, I don't. What if he would have cut his hand off that way? You know,
that's how it goes.
And he's like, oh, that would probably be worse. It'd be blood.
Again,
which in this whole trilogy, it's, you know, something happens. Even you know, blasters, lightsaber injuries. It's all like, I guess, carcerated or cauterized. Not carcerated, cauterized. And in the sequel trilogy, it's like blood. So there seems to be this weird
continuity error.
Yeah, almost.
Now, why is Jango Fett? Why was he there?
I think he's working with Dooku. Dooku hired him.
I like this. I like how they're like I like how they're putting them on this car, like to have like this big, just like grand.
Yeah, which this part
reveal
with how it is kind of grand. It's kind of cool. I mean, they're about to die. I mean,
that's not a good thing to hear. I've been dying a little bit every day since you came back.
Well, it's about to end, honey.
I should say.
You know what I wouldn't have liked?
I like that expression, like "I love you." He's like,
oh, I'm glad he wasn't.
What?
Like, I'm glad he wasn't like. I know. Yeah.
Be forced to live a lie.
She's like, well, considering we're about to die.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. And then like afterwards, she's like, well, I just said that because we were to die. Like, I didn't know we'd live after.
So you didn't mean it? I mean, I meant it in the moment.
But I just... It's like deeply.
Really? She deeply?
Truly, deeply.
Then it's right when it starts going. Why do they have to have a guy there? Why can't it just be the animal that takes them?
Or a droid.
Yeah.
But then again, this species is different, I guess. They're more primitive, I guess. Even though they got like sonic lasers or whatever the heck that is.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That is one thing. It's
There's
like,
a lot of sound weaponry in this movie.
Yeah, that's true. But you ever notice that sometimes in like sci-fi movies or even this, it's like you got these primitive civilizations, these species, and they got like this one, like, what? How do you, like, you've got that, but you're still using like swords or you know,
it's like you guys
like
are
horses.
You guys are
or,
massively manufacturing the droids. Oh, got a bobby pin. It's like you guys are providing and creating these droids for the separatists on a massive scale.
Bigger than the assembly line.
Yeah.
Henry Ford's.
But we're still going to have this like very rocky like Coliseum, and we're just going to hook you up with like just like chains on a post and bring out animals to kill you.
I was about to say that we're it's like, why wouldn't they use like some kind of technology to bind them? It's just like, well, we got these binders here. But I think they're very much grounded in, you know, tradition. I mean, I like it. I like the way that it looks. Well, there's that blend between almost like antiquity, I guess, and futuristic.
Is this the only time we ever see a Coliseum?
I guess so. Because it's not the originals.
Very much like gladiators. You know,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I kind of like that they did this, which wasn't one of those things in The Mandalorian, that horn thing.
No,
it wasn't that. It was the.
I was like that one. I was like that one the most. The big green one. Like the way he sounded. I think we've seen those before.
That looks like a rat and a cat and a porcupine mixed together.
We've seen those things later on. Like they've showed up again.
In Battlefront 2, one of the missions on Felucia, I guess, those green things, you had to fight those off.
Yes, I remember that.
Like the campaign for Battlefront 2, the original.
I like that one the most, though. The green one. I was always fond of him. Even
it seems like it had like a parallel between each character too. It's like what is going to kill them is kind of like them. Like the bull is just like a bull in the bull type thing is like a bull in a china shop. It's just reckless. It's
stubborn.
Whatever. This is more calculated, I guess, precise, if you will. And then the cat is like, I don't know. Cats are very associated with like feminine qualities or whatever.
Also very just like agile and
yeah. I mean, that might be looking too much into it. I mean, there's that famous thing like, well, sometimes the curtains are just blue.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. That scream's always like, I feel like that cut is a little too deep and big.
Well, I feel like the cut's not big enough. It's like that thing has razor sharp claws.
No, I'm saying I feel like her reaction is not big enough for the amount of damage it did.
Like it should have been more.
Oh yeah,
I mean, she definitely was in agony. I mean, it was definitely like, oh yep, broken ribs.
Just gonna jump, just like
animal abuse.
And I like how she gets it in just one kick. One kick, that's enough.
That's like a strip of fake blood right down. Like that would be like oozing out. That'd be blood everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, that's
like we gotta take her to the hospital. You ever notice that he rolled with it? Like if he would have stayed still, he'd been fine.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's roll away from it.
I guess they just leave those columns out there because there's 4 of them. If they brought them out when they've only brought 3.
It is cool that when the clones come in, it's like they're fighting in this giant coliseum, and makes for a nice little ending.
No, I like all this.
Battle.
I think this is the best part of this whole movie.
I've heard some people they say when they watch this, they just start it here.
Trying to train it,
tame it. Oh, he didn't need to swipe it. I'm like, yeehaw, riding cowboy or whatever.
And all of a sudden, things are like, okay, yeah, I'll trust you.
Which is almost like another plot device. It's like you've got some of the most, like, what they would consider like notorious Jedi. They hate these guys, and they've got a very important figure in Padme. It's like, why didn't they just execute him right then and there? They just shoot him.
Yeah, like give 2 Jedi. I think they can.
I guess they wanted it to be like a slow death, but it's like
nice little peck on the cheek. Thing just takes it out. Snap.
I like that little goatee thing it has.
Sort of like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why Dooku waited. Like obviously, oh yeah, never mind. That's why. Forgot about that part.
Why didn't they just come out and do just like a shooting execution? You know, just like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Or if we have to have this build-up of.
Because of this.
Because of. How does he know? How did he get in? And how did Dooku get in? Because the rest of them come from gunships.
Yeah. Maybe he landed on the outskirts.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt they have like security
they're
or
all in the
something.
stance too, I guess.
Where'd they come from? This is pretty kind of cool. It's like that many Jedi at once. It's like, yeah, that's.
We've never really seen anything like this.
This is the only time. It's the only time. I wish the sequel trilogy would have given us something like that, I guess.
Have the ghost of everyone behind Rey.
I wonder just like a bunch of Jedi in general, not like, well, the Jedi, it's like the same format or like the place. I guess the climate of the galaxy is the exact same as it is in the originals. Like there's only one Jedi, or two if you count, Rey's kind of training to be one. There's the Empire, whatever. It's pretty much the same.
The thing I like about
Almost.
the super battle droids is how I like how they have basically like the same head as the battle droids, just sort of like pressed in and on the side. We brought some extra lightsabers just in case.
Yeah, I like how Anakin's is green. It's kind of cool. I kind of figured that with Mace Windu going, hey, I want a purple lightsaber, that George would have been like, well, let's throw in some other colors in there too, or something.
I mean, outside of the movies, there is white and yellow.
Yeah. I think the Ahsoka, right? She has white ones at one point or something.
Yeah, I know she had a yellow one at one point.
I don't know. I thought it was white. I don't know.
And
But
black kyber crystals exist, but they still make red. But they're like the ultimate like evil if you have a black kyber crystal in your lightsaber.
yeah, because they kind of changed the canon to where like the crystal reflects the Jedi, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the difference between like the yellow ones, like it has a yellow on the head, the battle droid, and the
I
other
think
ones?
they're like a commander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just nameless.
How convenient that it.
Oh man.
Yep. It's like a cowboy.
Western. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what they are in a way. Or like what the Mandalorian is in a way. It's like a Star Wars futuristic cowboy in a way. Outlaw.
Underneath on the base of Mace Windu's lightsaber, it actually says BAMF.
BAMF?
You remember what his wallet says in Pulp Fiction?
No, I haven't seen that. I've only seen that movie once.
Well, I don't want to have to censor this.
Just don't say it then. Well, I know what it is now.
Badass.
Yeah.
Mother. Yeah. Well, actually, it says that on the lightsaber.
Yeah. Can you notice it in the movie? I'm sure it's just like on the prop.
It's just a trivia fact. What is that look he gives him? Like, oh shoot!
Didn't know that would happen.
Yes. Jedi dogs.
I'm sure that's when the kiddies laughed in the theater.
I always thought it was Jedi Jedi. I just thought it was Die Jedi Die.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Not Die Jedi Dogs.
Maybe, I mean, sometimes the subtitles are off, Like, it's not exact always.
Yeah.
Kit Fisto, man, he dies so quick in the next one. It's like as soon as he shows up, well, stab.
He lasts longer than Saesee Tiin, though.
Yeah, that is true. It looks yellow right there, Anakin's. Well, not anymore. I feel like Padme would have got shot. by now, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, she has nothing to, like, deflect anything.
The clones are there yet? That thing's still chasing Obi-Wan?
I will say it's one of the more... It's probably the most unique battle, I guess, in all the movies.
Because you got
like,
these
so much is going on. You got these, like, creatures. They're in, like, a Coliseum thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Battle droids.
Now, how does he get there? Where's he been?
I guess they dropped him.
Because the last we saw him, he was in the droid factory.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. Why didn't they capture him? I guess he escaped. Yeah, I don't know.
Just leave him alone. How did they sort of force them all to?
Yeah, I really wish they would have.
Because I think the droids, they just keep coming. They just keep putting them out. You know.
I guess that's one thing about the droids, though. It's like even though I'm not really like a fan of them, but it's like, I mean, you can just keep pumping them. Yeah.
That's actually like the first episode of the Clone Wars about that. It's like Yoda goes out and has to do something. He has to do something anyway, and they're like one Jedi equals 100 battle droids, and it's like actually no, it's more like 1,000. Because Yoda just like lays waste.
How do you think they filmed this? Do you think it was because this looks, aside from the battle droids and some of the creatures,
that's just a bunch of people. It's just a bunch of people standing with the props on that desert, and everything around them is blue screen.
Well, I think this looks not. I mean, compared to the rest of the movie, this.
This looks better for
seamless.
Sure. Yeah. Well, you
can
just look at Obi-Wan's hair.
Yeah,
though.
You can tell.
Yeah.
I think the lighting was just probably better.
Look at Dooku's hair. You can see like a little bit of green in there.
That might have been a light behind. I don't know. Like actual part of. I don't know. I'd have to rewind. Obi-Wan takes a sip of Gatorade. He's sweating.
That's a great entrance though, with Yoda on there with all the clones. Of course, we see the clone gunships, which I think are really cool.
You gotta be really
design.
accurate with those gunships, not to kill the Jedi.
But
then again, they're all like encircled.
My dad used to say that a lot.
What?
Around the survivors, a perimeter create.
Yeah. Like this is like a joke.
He just always say it for some reason. Not really anymore, but I always was a fan. I like those bubble turrets. Why aren't you doing anything, Yoda?
He's like, give me a minute.
Yeah, this is all cool right here.
Did you like the original TV show? I think it was just called Clone Wars. It was like the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was like around like 2004. It was right before episode 5.
Yeah, I think it was like 03, 04. I don't know. But
no,
yeah.
It was before episode 5. But after 2.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all right. I definitely don't dislike it. Now, how did they leave? How did they get away?
R2-D2 straps him to his back and they fly off.
Yeah. It's like his head falls out.
Yeah, his head inside of it. Like, what happened there?
I guess there's the ship the Jedi took.
What do you mean, the battleship?
Yeah, those big ships they had parked outside the Coliseum.
I like it when he's like, don't let your personal feelings get in the way.
I guess these are like powering the droid factories.
Yeah. This level used to like when I was a really young kid, like when the game came out, the Lego game. I remember for some reason I had a hard time with this level.
Oh, for the giant like shield generators, you have to blow them up and.
Yep.
There's the Death Star back there.
Yeah, which at that point is almost kind of just like an Easter egg, but then again, it's kind of panning towards it. I mean, he outright shows it in a minute, but
yeah,
at that point, it's almost like if you
I wish they just left it like that. Wouldn't that have been cooler?
Yeah, but then again, it's like
they just left it like that.
Yeah, that would have been actually kind of cooler, because then it would have been like, see,
because that's showing, not telling.
But then again, some people would have missed it, and I think it kind of enhances the fact that like, oh yeah, that's a thing going on right now.
I always like to look at the clone pilots. I just kind of think they were just
those helmets.
Yeah, I think it was just. I like how the pilots had different gear.
I like how they all have different colors too. I think that is a cool thing that
Yeah, so
you
there's a
didn't
red one
see
back
that.
there. Well, they're like they're different like battalions and ranks and all that because they're not wearing like badges.
Yeah.
So they're just and everyone's a fighter. Okay, but here's the thing: if they're all made at the same time, how did they decide? Like, oh yeah, you're the captain.
Well, I guess they have training, don't they? So they'd have to
Yeah.
some would be trained. For
Well, you know, they show
different-
training like the
different reasons.
like the arc of the first at the beginning of season 3. The Clone Wars is all about clones training, and it's fantastic.
I'm sure they just choose a certain amount of people. It's like, well, these are going to be the
Well, then they also have like ARC troopers too.
yeah.
Like by 3, you know, you have all sorts of stuff. You have like ARC troopers, you have ARF troopers, the Shadow troopers, which that's more like
You know, I kind of think now,
espionage.
like, what if the reason why Lucas wanted the droids to be a thing is because you have like 2 manufactured kinds of soldiers, right? So it's
Yeah.
like they're like the Republic's pumping out clones, like manufacturing them, and then the Confederacy is pumping out droids, you know, manufacturing them.
Separatist, not Confederacy.
Well, it's the Confederacy of Independent Systems or whatever, right?
I guess so. It makes me sound like the Civil War. We got
Yeah. You're right. But yeah. That is the name, though.
So we're basically saying the Separatists are the South.
I mean, just trying to pull away from the established government, I guess. Does that make Count Dooku General Lee?
Maybe. The Jedi must not find our design for the ultimate weapon.
Who talks like that? Our ultimate what now? So I wonder how long that plan had been in place, you know?
Yeah. Probably for a little
And-
bit. I mean, they obviously designed it, and you can see all. Well, no, never mind. That's not the way it was.
I wonder what it'd been like if things didn't work out.
Well, obviously that was Jyn Erso's dad who designed it. Remember?
So I guess he was part of the separatist.
Yeah, but remember he designed it with the flaw, with the
Yeah.
tube. Which that does answer the question, like, why would they leave like a giant hole that you can just destroy the whole thing with?
Yeah. I think it would work better if it was like more if the movies came out in order. Because then it would like actually explain it. Because now it just seems like this retroactive, like, well, we gotta explain that.
Are those things? Can they go into space? Can those?
Well, yeah. What's the what was it trying to do right here?
It's just try to escape.
It's like kind of like a mini Death Star almost.
Yeah. How do they get those out there?
I guess those do go to space. Like it would take a long time. It almost looks like War of the Worlds.
Yes, very, very Wells-like looking things, especially also like the big things like the walkers with the big like spider legs.
Yeah.
A lot of H.G. Wells inspiration.
Right, probably mainly the 2005 one.
Yeah.
The movie, anyway.
Spielberg, Tom Cruise one.
It's It's Dookie. Shoot him down. Oh,
We're
yeah.
out of rockets. Well, can't the people in like the laser turrets do it? Those aren't rockets, are they?
It's like they don't have any firing, you know? It's like
They're defenseless.
yeah, plot device. That's all I can say.
Also, those ships have like they're like bomb droppers too.
There's that scream again.
Scratch is gonna get infected.
Probably burns with that sand in there.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't like sand.
Oh. I don't like what's coming up.
I think the good part about it is like I am a slow learner. I think that's a cool line. You know, if you had to pick like what are some good lines, like that one.
You're right. Let's keep going. I like how that's all it took.
It's like Obi-Wan should have suspected that, like, okay, they got a thing going on.
No, Obi-Wan knows for sure.
Yeah, I guess he's always known.
Oh yeah. So they're living together. They have a house. They have an apartment.
They get married at the end.
No, Obi-Wan totally knows.
No, I like how it blows
But
up.
also, like, if you watch Clone Wars, he has like a relationship with, or
yeah, I know
that relationship with someone else. So it's like, like.
I like that little droid was like, "Yep, I'm getting out of here."
Nope. It's just a pilot droid.
He's like the bull. It's poetry. It rhymes. Do they fight them together? Or is it just both one-on-one? Like one gets hurt, the other's...
Yeah.
Because obviously in a minute, Obi-Wan goes down.
Well, yeah, mostly because the column falls on him. And then... Or no, he drops the column on Anakin, and then Obi-Wan's like, I gotta fix that.
I remember seeing like a behind the scenes of this, and it was pretty cool. I think they used like not glow sticks as in like what we would think is glow sticks, but
I know
it had like a glow to it. Because especially when the lights go out, it's like it had to, like on set, something had to produce the light. Because like in post, I don't know how you'd really get that.
Look at those boot prints.
They're like you can see like the CGI formation of them.
Yeah.
I wish they would have been just normal, It's like,
how's he already cut up like that? What happened?
He fell from the freaking...
Did he fall too?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have those big black marks like that.
I mean, he just came from battle, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But where do you get that? Like, I mean, obviously you're not being shot. So, why does he just do that? Why is he not...
Why is his arm not laying next to him?
Why is he not just like... Weird little... He sort of does the Palpatine jump spin thing.
A little bit, yeah. So Anakin had it first. That's...
It's the first time we ever see someone with two lightsabers.
Is it? I guess so, yeah. Which it lasted for like 3 seconds. Let me cut the power so this will be cool.
Yeah, that's what that was. This is like that's the only thing that does is we're gonna make it dark and cool looking, so cut the lights off.
I think the fight in the next movie between these two, it's pretty cool. It's a lot better than this.
Oh, it's way better than this. This is one of the worst fights.
The third one has all the best fights.
Yeah.
Like, why did he just stand there? I mean,
also, that's not like just like your hand cut off. It's like
he got his arm cut off, like up to his elbow.
Like it looks like above the elbow.
Sounds like Count Dooku was like disgusted. He's like,
oh crap! It's like gross. Yeah, this one. No, because he gets cut like.
It's about like just past the elbow almost.
But whenever we see him later, like he only has it like to like a little like around like the middle of the forearm. Whenever we see the robotic part.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they did the rest like skin, and then they put the robot part over the hand.
Why didn't he just throw that right back?
Why did he just knock it out of the way?
He's just like, perfectly good weapon.
I hate this.
You do?
I hate this. Yes.
I mean, it kind of changes so much about Yoda. But then it would if we didn't have this here, we wouldn't have that like fight between Yoda and
yeah, but this is just like a
Sidious the next.
But that one feels a little bit more like what he would do. This is just a mess, like just him jumping.
It's too like
what
in the heck?
It's like
Yoda did a line of coke or something.
Yeah, and when you fight Sidious in 3, also is that's never done again like that.
No.
Is it?
In 3 it is. Yeah, 3 it is. He does the same thing.
To Dooku or
no,
Sidious?
Yeah, he absorbs it, and I think he throws it back.
Well, that one too, he just takes it,
which is pretty cool. I mean, to kind of separate Yoda from like what other people can do, it's kind of cool they did something.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm crippled.
Well, because he taught him.
So Yoda was his master?
Yeah, Yoda was his master, and then he taught Qui-Gon. I hate that.
Yeah, why do they have to make it like flippy?
Look at that. It's so, ugh.
Like a wind-up toy. Just spun them up. Just flipping around.
There's way too much going on.
What if Yoda would have had like a regular-sized lightsaber? Like how weird that would have been. It doesn't seem...
Look at that. Like, it's like...
You can ask, like, well, if he does that crap, like, what... I'm sure the theater was like, oh my god. Like the whole, like, Rey and Kylo thing.
Yeah.
In Last Jedi where everyone freaked out in the theater.
I feel like that was a good fight, though.
Yeah, I'm sure that was this was a surprise, though. Like, oh my god,
we'd never seen Yoda wield a lightsaber before.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. But... And this right here, it's like how it should have ended. Yoda should have just slung that into the ship and blew it up.
Yeah.
Just drop it.
Just gonna just slightly move it over. How come when they do this, like, is the heavier an object, the harder it is to lift it with the Force?
I guess it would take more energy. I don't know.
Because they always look tired when they lift something big, just like...
Yeah, like... yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It reminds me of oh dude, I just saw it.
Oh, then this word
reminds me
brings
of something. I can't remember.
Like this too.
Well,
also if space is a vacuum, how come that expands out like wind is pushing it?
I think there actually is things like that we use in the real world. It's like some kind of cells or something. But yeah, don't
why is it in front? Well, I guess if it were in the back, it'd be dragging. It would be going slower. That's interesting. Like we've never seen anything like that, and we still haven't in Star Wars.
Like what happens when they tangles up?
Yeah, how's that? I guess
and going into the atmosphere, wouldn't it catch on fire if it's made of some kind of like
fabric?
Well, obviously, I don't think it'd be fabric. I don't think it'd be that dumb.
It's cotton.
Yeah, just like as soon as they go to the atmosphere,
it's nylon.
Well, really, any ship I think would have
polyester
to suffer some kind of. The only time you see that is in
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all this too. Like we never. I want to learn more about like this.
Like where is that?
Like where is this? What was
like
this?
Secret location for.
Well, this looks. I always thought of it as, earlier on Coruscant when we see like that chase. This is like down there, but just like further out.
Like in the underworld?
Yeah, like the underworld, but like further out. Like remember that part with like the purple electricity field thing?
Yeah.
It's like just if you were to basically keep going straight out, that way you eventually get to this. I wonder who that is.
It's all planned.
Yeah.
So the Senate building, is that across the street from the Jedi Temple, or is it?
I don't know. I mean, you can't see it there.
Well, I think that like establishing shot, I don't know. I know there's. I think it's like the Anakin's or Padme's like living quarters, because like in Episode 3 when they look at each other.
Okay, so yeah. So, do the Jedi have to like take their chairs with them when they leave?
Yeah. Why is all the chairs?
Or are all the chairs gone?
They had a cleaning crew come in and mop the floors.
Yeah, it's like, leave my chair, you will.
Yeah. Maybe they just forgot the chairs that day.
What a stupid word, chair.
Lucas is like, let's hurry up and film this. Come on. I know we don't have our chairs, but come on.
It's like we need to have Yoda sit down.
He's tired.
It's like maybe it's a different room.
Oh, he titled the war. Okay.
CGI. I like it, but it looks like a PS2 game, even though I still like it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean it's not so bad. This isn't so bad where this feels like a PS2 game necessarily, but
Also, I like
some
how
parts,
it
yeah.
just shows the scale of it.
which that is definitely pretty cool. The scale of it, yeah.
Just watching
I like how they play the Imperial March.
just having the armies just go out, because they go like everywhere. You know,
Like, where are they going right now?
other planets to protect, because the war has started.
So what kind of army, or not army, but like military did they have before them? What did the troopers look like, I guess?
I think that I always thought they looked more like like those like Senate guard guys they had, maybe something like that. But then there's a lot of robes.
Here we go.
Robot hand.
They should have made the left hand so he has to put the ring on the fake hand.
Do they have wedding bands in
Probably
Star
not.
Wars?
I mean, well, considering they're trying to be secret about it, probably not.
I mean, yeah, we don't really know anyone else in Star Wars that's married.
Well, I mean, Bail Organa
Do we ever see his wife?
at the end of 3, yeah.
For a
But
second,
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. But,
Oh, Uncle Owen and Peru.
yeah. Klieg and Shmi.
Yeah. Han Solo and Leia, or are they married, or are they just together?
No, I don't think ever in the movies they're not married. I think it's like hinted at, maybe, or maybe I think maybe they just.
I think they were just a couple. They weren't actually married.
That's the movie. Jonathan Hales, who's that?
He wrote the screenplay for Attack of the Clones.
It's his fault, man. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so what would you give it out of 10?
What did I give? What did I give Phantom Menace? Did I give it like a 2 or out of 10?
I think you gave it like a 4 or 5.
I think I gave it.
I don't remember what you gave it actually.
Whatever it is, this is the same.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, I almost like Phantom Menace better.
Yeah, me
Maybe
too.
not much,
I probably
but,
give I like Phantom Menace a little bit more because I feel like there's more going on. Like Qui-Gon, I like Obi-Wan. I like Panaka. I think Padme's okay.
Yeah.
I like the Darth Maul fight. This one's got some other.
I'd give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah, so somewhere. Yeah, this is again somewhere around like the 5, 6 area.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, don't have to go through the whole credits, but yeah, I guess thanks for listening. If you made it this far, what should they tweet if they listen all the way here? Hashtag droid football.
Yeah, droid football, I guess.
Droid football. Yeah, if you
I don't
listen
think
all the
anyone
way through.
ever would use that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for listening. I don't know if the episode 1 commentary will go out before we record probably 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably record 3 next week.
Yep.
I do like going through and watching these again because I haven't seen these in
it's been a while.
a minute.
But
It's popping up suggesting episode 3 for us, and we're not going to do that today. But
yeah, we're going to do it right now.
thanks for listening, everyone. Go listen to the other podcast. Go listen to the main show, the Personal People podcast. We're everywhere. Email us personalpeoplepod@gmail.com. Any other thing you want us to do a commentary over, we might branch out from Star Wars, do something maybe not even like science fiction related at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us stuff to comment over because we enjoy doing these. Hopefully you guys enjoy doing this too. We've only done 2 and you guys haven't listened to any of them at this point. But anyway, yeah, so we've kept you here too long. Yeah. Bye.
So goodbye.